These two scouts are showing the proper way to change positions while in a canoe. Now, let's check in on a scoutmaster meeting with his scouts on a trip preparation.
This weekend we want to prepare for our canoeing trip. We're going to go on out to the point. What we want to do is make a list of those things we need to put in the canoe and take with us. So how about giving me some of those items? Tents, cooking gear, dining fly. How about canoeing items now?
3 paddles.
3 paddles. Why 3?
In case one falls over.
Okay, we have an extra. And 2 life jackets.
Keep all your gear in plastic bags.
Gear in plastic. Why do I keep it in plastic bags?
So if it falls over, it won't get wet.
Okay, and where do we stow all our gear?
In a duffel bag and tie it to the floor.
Tie it to the floor. Okay.
Food.
Okay. How about a bailing device of some sort? Either a sponge on a rope or a scoop. Scoop out the water. Okay. Think of anything else. How about a hat?
Yeah, hat.
The sun gets on our head, we need a hat. Possibly sunglasses if you're real sensitive to the light.
This scout is showing the proper way to exit a canoe without shipping water. However, it is recommended that the scout hold on to the canoe so that it doesn't get away from him. Now the scout is showing the proper way to enter a canoe without shipping water. These two gentlemen are showing one of the many ways that you can use to swamp a canoe. However, when you swamp a canoe, it is either recommended that you, A, get in it and paddle it while underwater back to shore, or B, if you're with other canoeists, to use a method that we'll show you a little later. As you can see, these gentlemen have uprighted their canoe while it is still underwater. They are sitting in the canoe, but they should be stowing their paddles and paddling with their hands. Unfortunately, while the canoe is submerged, as it is here, it has a tendency to overreact to a left and right motion. If you're alone when swamping a canoe, sometimes it is necessary to first upright the canoe so it is in a proper position but submerged, and you can then either tow the canoe from the front as is shown here, or you can move to the rear of the canoe and push it to shore. Pushing the canoe seems to be easier for smaller scouts. Here are those two guys again. Now they're going to show us another way to swamp a canoe. Works every time. But lucky for them, they've got some friends on the way. What you are about to see is called the Canoe over Canoe Rescue. First, the gentleman in the disabled canoe are to get the canoe paddles and hand them to the rescue team. They are then to locate the painter or the rope nearest the rescue team's canoe and hand that to them as well. The rescue team is to move up in a perpendicular fashion to the disabled canoe. After all this is done, the disabled canoeists are to move to the opposite side of the rescue canoe from their disabled canoe. This is to stabilize the rescue canoe so that the rescuers can move more freely in their attempts to restore the disabled canoe. While restoring a disabled canoe in this fashion is no easy work, it can be done by the smallest of scouts. As you can see here, the disabled canoeists are stabilizing the other side of the rescue canoe. Then the rescuer canoeists reach into the water and attempt to break the seal on the disabled canoe. This can be done very simply by turning the canoe into a regular upright manner. This breaks any seal or vacuum that has been created. Often, it takes several minutes to get the canoe in the correct position. I think they've done it. Yes, they've broken the seal by tilting the canoe, and now they lift the canoe bottom side up over their canoe, again using the hand over hand method. That's very important. They lift the canoe over their own, centering it with the thwart in the middle. At that point, with neither end of the disabled canoe in the water, they begin to tilt that canoe in an upward fashion. While one canoeist is pushing up, the canoeist opposite him is pushing his end towards the canoeist that is pushing up. This assists in uprighting the disabled canoe. After the canoe has been uprighted, it is then put back into the water. However, the rescue canoeists do not let the painter go. What they do is they bring the disabled canoe back up next to their own and stabilize that canoe for the disabled canoeist to re-enter their now restored canoe. When the canoeing activity is over, it is important that all canoes and canoeing equipment is properly stored. As you can see here, they are putting the canoe bottom side up on the canoe trailer. Then, using a painter now connected to the canoe trailer, the canoe is secured tightly to the trailer. It is then fastened with 2 half hitches. With a canoe of this type, which weighs only about 80 pounds empty, it's reasonably handy for even small scouts to be able to move. However, when this canoe is filled with water, it weighs over 1,000 pounds. Again, the painters are removed and the canoes are secured. It's also important to make sure that you secure all paddles used and also all life jackets. When that's done, the crew is ready to leave and ready for a meal at their favorite fast food outlet.